in. So, who is ATHLETESIA actually for? Not just the demographic, like the woman. Tell me a little bit more.
The woman. This is, okay, so ATHLETESIA is for the everyday woman who moves for her, not to compete, not to conform, not to perform, not to fit into an aesthetic that she's been told that she needs to fit into. She's done and she's tired with being squeezed into a mold. She is over it. And so this is a woman who is moving and walking away from the copy and paste blueprint activewear and athleisure industry that we are used to, that as far as I'm concerned has been built on an empire of tapping into the insecurities of women. And so that's who ATHLETESIA is for.
I just want to quote on that. Built on an empire that taps into the insecurity of women.
Yeah. That's my viewpoint on it, for sure.
That is a statement and a half.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit more. What gave you this opinion?
So look, I feel everyone has free will to wear whatever they want and buy whatever they want. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that I was seeing a lot as I was going on this journey, and also listening to so many women out there that were sharing their voices, is what I see often is, okay, these leggings are going to lift you. They're going to hide everything about you, basically. I'm going to squeeze you in. I'm going to compress you. I'm going to lift your bottom. I'm going to, I'm going to sculpt you. And it's just like, here's the deal. And I have to say this. And women, I need you to understand what I'm about to say. Was I that person? 100%. The videos are out there. It's there. So you can see, what I was about and what I was wearing. Things have shifted for me, especially since ATHLETESIA. But the bottom line is, I'm not here to sculpt anyone. I'm not here to lift anyone. I'm not here to squeeze anyone into anything. I'm not a surgeon. I'm not interested in being in that space in any way, shape, or form. And here's the thing. As far as I'm concerned, as soon as you take those leggings off, as soon as you take that shapewear off, what are you left with? Your body as it is. And so it's a case of you either accept and embrace your body as it is, or you do something to change it. And that is just the reality. As I age, my bum isn't as high as it used to be. That's the truth. It's not as high as it used to be, right? But I embrace that and I do what I need to do, to maintain it to a certain level. And so it's just one of those things where I'm very much an advocate of women embracing who they are. And of course, I understand completely that if there is something that you truly dislike about yourself, you have every right to change that in whatever way, how you choose. So I wouldn't sit here and say, I'm a person who is against plastic surgery or anything like that, or, certain treatments. If that is going to make you happy, do you. ATHLETESIA is where function meets true self-expression, and every woman is free to operate how she sees fit and is in a way that's going to make her happy. But also, I just feel the emphasis on constantly trying to change women, I do not get down with. I do not appreciate it. I do not stand for it. And so therefore, that's why my statement is there. And it's like I shared on someone's post a while ago. At the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, last time I checked, I'm not a statue that can be carved into. So when we're talking about sculpting and all the rest of it, it's such a buzzword for me. And so you're never going to hear that word within ATHLETESIA. You're never going to hear sculpt. You're never going to hear lift. When it comes to the tech packs, what I have in my tech packs is around, being supportive, comfortable, the natural lines and curves of a woman's body. That's what it's about for me. Everything else can get lost as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, that's my viewpoint.
I'm just taking it in. I think, where do you think that this has come from, this narrative where we need to sculpt and shift and, lift and all of these things? Where do you think that's come from?
I'm going to say something that I think is going to be, what do they call it on Instagram? Like an unpopular opinion or controversial, but, I've shared it before in a post. At some point as women, we have to take accountability for what we're allowing to be marketed to us and what we're allowing to be sold to us. I really, really do. because at the end of the day, we are the ones who are buying into it. And so at some point, we've got to rise up collectively, and we've got to come together, and we've got to say no more. And at the end of the day, if you're happy with it, like I said, all good. But, you know, if you're looking for something different and you're done with that and you want to walk away from that, then yeah, ATHLETESIA is for you for sure. And that's not to say that, you know, there are going to be people who they might tap into ATHLETESIA and other brands and stuff, and that's cool. But, you know, if someone is looking for a brand where it does all of that stuff that I've spoken about, that's not what ATHLETESIA is, and it never will be. So therefore, ATHLETESIA probably won't be for you. That's the reality.
This is so interesting because I completely agree with you. At the end of the day, if people aren't buying, there's nothing to sell. There's nothing to sell.
Yeah.
And so we are buying into the way that we are being spoken to and the way that we are being made to feel like we need to conform to certain standards. So I guess the part, or there's this area around us being insecure and us wanting to change things that's actually due to ourselves, and how we are treating ourselves is how other women are, I guess, getting impacted from that. Our children, our families, our friends. If we're buying the sculpting leggings and thinking and saying, look how great we look, they're gonna feel the same way. And it might be just a big cycle of, very interesting.
And you know, I spoke about, I've got 10 nieces and nephews, and I spoke in the last video about my 2 youngest nieces. And so when I think about them and them growing up, I don't want them to feel that they have to fit into a certain aesthetic or a mold to be accepted by what society deems acceptable to be as a woman. I'm over it. Like, I'm over it. And I know that the women who are in the ATHLETESIA community, they are over it too. And this is exactly why they are part of the community. And collectively, like I said, we have to rise up and we have to seriously change the narrative, because you know, if we don't, where do we end up? As clones, you know, there's already too much copy and paste as it is. So yeah, that's my perspective. I could go on and on about this. I do get really passionate about it as well, but yeah.
It's interesting because we see it, especially in the aesthetics industry. I don't know if you see comments where people are like, okay, you look just like every other person now because you've made all these changes to yourself. So yeah, there's a wide discussion there for sure.
Yeah, 100%. There really is. And, you know, me and my friends have these type of discussions as well. Like, you know, is there anything that you would do, or is there anything that you would change? You know, probably as I age, you know, there might be certain, you know, treatments that I might tap into, you know, and that's my choice to do that. And like I said, it's a choice. It's a personal choice. But, you know, I would have to be like super unhappy with something, you know, in order to feel like that's something that I need to do.